The Gauteng MEC for Education, Sport, Arts, Culture and Recreation, Matome Chiloane, has expressed deep sorrow at the passing of legendary actor Don Mlangeni Nawa. His family confirmed his death in a statement released this morning. The 65-year-old, who was best known for iconic roles as Zeb Matabane in Isidingo, Laqhasha in Sgudi Snaysi and Zakhe Mhlongo in the 19th drama Hlala Kwabafileyo. Now, to talk more about Don Mlangeni Nawa, we're joined by his former on-screen son, Tshepo Maseko, who played the role of Parsons Matabane. Very good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time, Tshepo. Tributes have been streaming in since we learned of the veteran's passing this morning. You worked with him for well over a decade. How have you received the news?
Good evening. Listen, I struggled to hear you, but I've got the question.
Yeah.
Good evening. Thank you for the condolences. This just goes to prove once more, but Don was never this famous until his passing, but I appreciate your condolences. We take it as it comes. What can we do? He's lived his life. He's fulfilled his passion, the activist that he was. We are heartbroken, but I've got more beautiful memories to remember than regretful moments. I've learned so much from that man. The nuggets that he left, the energy that he departed, the passion he had for the craft, and the no-nonsense attitude. As funny as he was, but Don took absolutely no nonsense. If anything, he'd be saying, yeah, I'm sure whatever he's saying, so yeah, because that's the activity in him, and he was very real about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're saddened. The industry has lost quite a gem.
What are your fondest memories of him? I mean, you speak about many occasions and instances with him and your interaction, and of course working with him for so many years.
Listen, I met Don a year and a half after I completed tech, and you must understand this young actor walking into the hands of such a giant. And he said, listen, we are starting from scratch. This is a father and son relationship. Let's explore it together. He put aside his title of being this Laqhasha, this big actor from Hlala Kwabafileyo and so forth and so forth. He said, you're a son and a father, so there can be no fear in between us. Let us tell a genuine, authentic South African story. And that family was solid because we had a bunch of professional actors who put aside their personal titles and took on the roles of character. But if anything, he would die for this industry, for this craft. That man loved the art. I mean, he used to work in corporate and he left it because the art was what fulfilled him the most. So he had utmost respect for himself, for the art. He was very naughty though. But similarly, he would never want to get onto his wrong side. But if anything, if he lacked respect for a fellow thespian, he would not be in his good books. If you take your craft for granted, he would never be in his good books. I mean, what I like even more about him is, even on the days that he made mistakes, he would talk about it. He would say, listen, you see what I've done? You must never do what I've done. It is actually was meant to show you what not to do in the future. But what an amazing soul he was. So multi-talented, high energy father on and off the screen. I mean, I've got more memories of him off the screen than I do on screen. But what a loss it is.
Yeah. I mean, look, he's always been famous. You can't say he's more famous now that he's passed on. We can never. I mean, speaking to colleagues throughout the course of the day, everybody remembers Zeb Matabane and Agnes Matabane, who raised us while we watched screens. I mean, you too, Parsons. You were on our screens every night, and we were part of this family. What was it like having another family of your own family?
Listen, I'm one of those lucky actors who are transgenerational. I mean, I work with the older ones, I work with the middle-aged ones, I work with the younger ones. So I've enjoyed that entire journey. But the blessings that I get, especially from Don, is the respect for self, the respect for craft, the respect for a fellow human being, the respect for the patriotism for the country. He was jealous about stories. There are many roles that he's turned down because he didn't stand for those stories. He couldn't stand for the morality or the lack thereof of such stories. So that is why I think maybe that family felt so human. We to a large extent we forgot that we are acting. It's like, no, we are reliving a story. I had two families, both my family and the Isidingo family, and it was just phenomenal. Where I would implement my real life personalities into Parsons, or I'd learn from Parsons and implement in my real life, because I had a solid mother, a praying mother. I had a solid father who had his mistakes. I had a sister. You know, it felt like I moved from home to go to another home where I get paid to do well for fulfilling my craft. But it was a beautiful, authentic South African story that I enjoyed, and that is why, and it's clear, that is why the people are not forgetting it. But he wanted more. I mean, there's more that he wanted. He wanted better respect. He wanted better money. He wanted better treatment. He wanted better regulations. He wanted better management. He wanted so many things. Like I said, he was an activist. But the experience that I got from being, number one, being on that show, number two, acting alongside such giants, it taught me that this title can be taken away from you anytime.
Yeah.
And that is why I suppose we value more the self-respect and respect for a fellow actor or a fellow human being, and a respect for the craft. Also, the biggest thing that I've learned is never allow this fame or the craft or the power of the trade to be bigger than you, because that's when you lose it all.
And very lastly, before we let you go, I mean, if you think and define the kind of legacy he leaves behind, you've spoken quite a great deal about how much you've learned as a young artist yourself, but the legacy, what do you think he leaves behind?
But Don wants to fix things in the beginning, listen, Joe, that man gave his all. He was an all or nothing kind of performer. If you look at all his roles on Isidingo, not on Isidingo, on Sgudi Snaysi, there was a time when he played this fake. He faked to be this American talent search, but looking for Zuma, he was playing Laqhasha. He went completely American there. He came back to being completely Zulu. So he said, whatever character you play, you go all in, or you don't go in at all. And I suppose that should be the attitude in anything. I mean, you as a host now, you go all in, otherwise don't go in at all. Everyone should play their part and to give it the utmost best. If you're going to attempt anything, do it like it's the last time. But don't live here and in the here and now. He lived as if there's no tomorrow. But I've learned that when you start something, give it your all. Otherwise, don't do it at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for speaking to us this evening and sharing your experience as the nation mourns the loss of a giant, a legendary actor, Don Mlangeni Nawa. Speaking there to former on-screen son, Tshepo Maseko, who played the role of Parsons Matabane in the soap opera Isidingo.